Hey everyone, welcome back to the Trendcrusher podcast. I'm Peter K. And if you've clicked on the title, since you've clicked on this episode, you know that Doktor Ross Sewage is back on the podcast. This time we're talking Exhumed's latest album, Red Asphalt. But before we get to my chat, I'd like to mix things up a bit. Here's a track by a brutal party slam band, as they call them, Party Cannon. Yeah, they're those guys with the colorful logo on all the festival posters. Yeah, that's why they went viral initially for. They have a new EP out, Subjected to a Parting. Here is Improper Use of Specular.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You guys have been jacking off so hard that you've got advanced carpal tunnel syndrome.
And that was Party Cannon with improper use of speculum of their EP subjected to a parting. Do check it out. I've left a link in the show notes. And here's Dr. Ross Sewage. And I'd like to welcome back to the podcast again, Dr. Ross Sewage. How's it going, man?
How's it going, Peter? It's good to be back. Greetings to everybody. Thank you for formally addressing me as doctor.
Yeah, and it's cool to kind of speak to you. I was kind of racking my head and I realized it had actually been less than a year that we spoke, but this time different band, different release, but same
Totally
person.
totally different kind of music. Just so I like to go from death metal to gore metal. And that's I keep a very very backstock in my oeuvre.
But I'm assuming the last time we spoke, you guys were at least as Exhumed with some stage of production, or was the album already ready? Because we spoke in May last year.
The album was done. We recorded it last February through like April-ish, I want to say. With some time off, we do a lot of our own recordings. So I went down and saw the boys laying down drums, and then it was months later after Matt came back from a Gruesome or Left to Die tour, and I was like, send me those tracks so I could lay down some bass, please. Like that would be cool. And so months after the drums were laid down, the bass went down, and then the vocals, and then the art, and then everything else.
Yeah, so the album we're talking about is the upcoming album from Exhumed, Red Asphalt. I'm glad you kind of talked about the art because before I hit up Zoom and record, I was actually looking at pictures. I'm going to link the article where you actually did the cover art for the album, which is really cool, I must say. And if I have to like kind of jog my memory, this is one of those things, where you were in CD stores, because that's where I kind of grew up,
Yeah.
going through, and then you just like look at this artwork and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, this looks like the most craziest thing. And then you kind of, I don't know, go down that rabbit hole, and 20 odd years later, you're doing interviews like this.
I mean, that's the idea. I guess, yeah, I kind of grew up in that same time period where you're just flipping through records, looking to see visually. I think you used to get a better representation of the music inside a lot of the time, instead of some AI generated crap fest that makes everybody look the same, like they're from the Matrix or some crap like that. But yeah, I found so many good bands that way, flipping through, either vinyl before that, then CDs. I guess now you can go flip through vinyl again because vinyl's made a bit of a resurgence. But yeah, we wanted to get back to the artwork of Shocking, and give people an idea that like when they hear this music, it's going to be loud and in your face, and just like the artwork is on the cover. So it's a real throwback to the Exhumed of the 90s, I think, where it's, everything was about taking some guts and intestines and throwing them on the ground and seeing what happens. And we talked about that for a while. We've been talking about that for a number of years. Like, wow, we really should do another really gross, disgusting photo cover that Relapse is going to have a pain in the ass trying to do press for, and they're going to have to censor it. We got to keep those guys on their toes, sometimes they get too lazy putting out, really good releases. They got to deal with Exhumed still.
Okay, so two follow-up questions, but before that, a remark. Since you mentioned this, right? I was having a chat with a friend of mine the other day, and he was like, which is that death metal band that kind of had like a corpse and cut up and stuff? And I'm like, Cannibal Corpse. And like, no, it's another band. And I'm like, Cannibal Corpse pretty much made like the
Yeah.
90s or early 2000s covers was just basically all of that, right?
It was yeah, always that. They had the wonderful paintings by Vincent Locke. Those are awesome covers. I do love those things, and I love good art. Like I liked Steve-O would always do his own art for the band
Oh,
named
yeah.
Batigo, and there's like a lot of masterful, or Jeff Walker's work on Carcass, on the first
Yeah.
few Carcasses, is really phenomenal looking and very striking and completely unforgettable when you see a giant collage of dead bodies.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I always liked when people did their own artwork in the band. Away from Voivod was another inspiration. Exhumed doesn't hasn't always done that, but when it came to throwing guts on the floor and taking a photo, that was definitely my milieu to play around with. So we were just kind of waiting for the right album to do that with. To the Dead wasn't that record. That was we wanted that cover. Horror had its own kind of 80s VHS feel, and but this one felt more real, more street, pardon the pun. But yeah, so we thought this was a good time to do a really old school, disgusting cover.
Okay, last question on the art before we jump into the music. Has there been a reaction to your past album covers or things like that where you were like, bingo, this person kind of like, this is the reaction we were kind of going for, right? Which is, oh, the fuck. I mean, I don't know.
Uh, I mean, certainly, like, yeah, this one is, it's already, I think, Apple Music said no, so there's got to be a censored, like the usual things. That's fine. I'm all fine with censoring covers. You can take the little slip out after you buy it and take a look at it. That's totally fine. Certainly gotten a lot of pushback from my photo work when I was doing, when Impaled was more active. We got a lot of pushback on an EP cover. That was really bad. People refused to review it, and I thought that was hilarious because I was like, "You're a death metal zine. Like, what the hell do you care? This is all fake. This isn't real." Like, if Vincent Locke painted it, would you be okay? They were fine with Butchered at Birth, but they were not okay with choice cuts. And I was like, "It's a toy doll. You can see the seams on the toy doll. It's not all that bad." Um, but yeah, the my favorite thing I think ever was for gore metal. This was years ago. Mike Scalzi from the Lord Weird Slough-Feg,
Yeah.
uh, good heavy metal band. He told me, he's like, yeah, I always keep that record gore metal around. Like, he's like, I don't like it. Like, he doesn't listen to death metal. He doesn't give a crap. But he's like, I always just keep it around because when someone asks me what death metal is, I just show them this cover. And so that's all right. The gore metal cover is death metal.
That's interesting, right? Because I feel like, and linking to what you said back about vinyl, I feel like as someone who's recently started buying vinyl, some of the artwork just looks fucking glorious on vinyl. And then you have
Uh,
like, the gatefold and stuff like that. And that's where you truly kind of appreciate some of it. Uh, and this is from someone who kind of owns like a few thousand CDs. So I'm just like, fuck, what do I do now?
Well, it's the give and take because CDs are a better format to deliver music, but vinyl is a better format to deliver art for sure. I'm not going to be one of those audiophiles who's like, no, you got to hear it on the vinyl. And it's like, no, it's got every single thing there on CD. CDs are great. It's a good way to store a physical medium, at least for like the next 50 years till they all start degrading because nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
So enjoy the moments, and if you really like an album cover art, like, get the vinyl because it's going to be bigger and it's going to be glorious and it does look cool. And I remember back in the days when CDs became a thing, that was a huge complaint where people were like, "Well, what about the art? It's so small now." But that's just the way technology marches on. And now it's marching backwards a little bit, just like the entire world is marching backwards.
Okay, I'm gonna hold that thought for a bit towards the end probably. But having said that, right? I mean, we talked quite a bit about the art, but take me back to since you said you went down and heard like the drum recordings. What was your initial thing on Red Asphalt? Like, did you already kind of do like some sort of pre-production and then had the drums?
Uh,
Did you all have that vision of
yeah,
what
we
the album's
have.
going to be like?
Yeah, we don't. We're a geographically separated band. So Mike is in Ohio, Sebastian's in Baltimore. Matt and I are both in California, but we're still about 200 miles apart from each other. So the studio in San Luis Obispo, that's where we all meet up. That's where Sebastian will do the drum engineering. And Mike flies out to do the drums there because Mike and Matt built a studio some years back. And so Matt will do some producing work out there for some other bands. But once Mike moved, he's got to fly in now. So everything is, we've got pre-production demos for everything. It's all been played, usually to like a drum machine or whatever, and then Mike gets those tracks, and he'll have some suggestions in terms of like arrangement or what he wants to do with those on the drums. But he comes into the studio knowing the songs full on and just belts them out one after the other. So he's a maniac, and he just gets in there and does the work. Then we all do our work afterwards. So we track after he's tracked, so we can follow the drums and give a stronger sense of rhythm to the whole thing.
So at this point, I must add, right? I mean, like you guys, and since you spoke about again Matt getting off the road, you guys are pretty much road warriors because like the amount of stuff and the amount of touring and the bands and everything. Was
Well,
there?
and I also have a cool car that has a cow catcher on front, and it's got a giant spear gun on top. So yeah, I do consider myself a road warrior.
But would you kind of say that that kind of rub off on the entire uh, concept around
I
Red
mean,
Asphalt?
that was the concept. I mean, we were came up with this couple of years ago on tour. We were just talking about, oh, what do we want to do? What do we, what's the next Exhumed record? It's like the 12th record of Exhumed. I can't even keep count anymore. It's like, well, what are we going to do to keep this fun and challenge ourselves and have a good time? And I think the story goes, I was asking Matt why he never wrote like a good death metal road song. Like, every good metal band has a good road song, like The Road Behind by Guar, Home Sweet Home, Motley Crue, Beth by Kiss, that kind of stuff. And then so we got to talking. We were like, well, that road's kind of a cool concept for a song. And if it's death metal, it's going to be about gore and horror and tragedy. And we're like looking around, every other day we see a truck on fire, some kind of crazy accidents when you're out on tour, and you just see that it's a crazy world out there, and it's a crazy way that America is just connected by highways and streets, and that's the only way we can get around, and everybody has to have their own 2-ton death vehicle that can like murder people constantly, and we all think that's normal.
Sorry, I have to add that would only explain why you guys go after oil in far-flung countries.
Oh, there's so many reasons we go after oil in far-flung countries. That's part of it. There's also, don't forget, plastics. We have to put every single lettuce leaf in its own separate plastic container. We have to, do all this ridiculous shit over here. Yeah, I could go on and on. Trust me, I'm a big supporter of a strong rail system, and America has just lost out on that. Like, we could be solving a lot of problems if people were not. I would love to go on tour and just like take a guitar and get on a train. That would be great. That would be great if I didn't have to sit in the back of a creaky van with my bladder full, the shocks are crap, bouncing up and down for like 7 to 8 hours between Lincoln, Nebraska and Omaha. Like, we're not doing things right over here, but it's the system we got, so I got to live in it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say until you said this that like I totally understand because I live in one of the most populated parts of the world, or most densely
Mhm.
populated parts of the world,
Yes.
and there's like traffic. And today I didn't spend, but like for the last couple of weeks I've been traveling and spending so much time just like on the road, and I'm like, fuck, there has to be a better way. So I totally understand what you're talking
There
about,
has to,
but
the better way would be to give up all material belongings and go live in a cave and grow a beard out and then just say some dumb bullshit to people who stop by that sounds smart. That would be the way to do it. That's what I'm working towards.
retirement plan.
Exactly. Be a
But
wise sage on a hill.
so one more thing that kind of strikes me about Red Asphalt, right, is the artwork. But I was also watching the video for Unsafe at Any Speed. And you guys kind of like took your liberty here, right? I mean, the reason I say it is most metal bands will just typically be four guys in, I don't know, basement or whatever, or green screen. Now you're seeing AI,
Yeah.
all of that shit. You guys kind of told a story. It was fucking funny. I was laughing through it, even though it was like reality, right? Where people are getting into accidents for dumb shit like drinking and driving, which is, I think, by far the fucking dumbest thing you could ever do. Uh, but all
Listen,
that
listen to the
kind
record. We got songs about it.
But I was like, what was the entire, I mean, possibly this, but why decide to use a video and kind of tell this entire story and all of that?
Well, it was just, I mean, it was on theme with the record, but what I really wanted to do, and I pitched it to the director, Jim Stramel, who's an old friend of mine. I wanted him to do this because he's got the same kind of old trauma film style humor that we have. And I wanted to really do like a sort of longer form video where, they used to do that in the 80s a lot. Like David Lee Roth has great videos where he has a big long intro before the music even starts. And I haven't seen a video like that in a while, especially not from death metal bands where it's just like, okay, great, we're in an old warehouse. There's chains, maybe we couldn't afford chains. Never mind. It's just a sheet metal wall and play in front of it. And that kind of stuff doesn't really thrill me. I want to see some characters. I want to see fun. I grew up, watching Gwar movies and stuff like that. And I like that kind of fun. And we talk about these things in Exhumed. We laugh a lot together. It's not a dour business filled situation. We have fun touring together and fun making music together. And it's why would we keep that from people and pretend to be so self-serious and crossing our arms, like, trying to look so tough and brutal and fun. I'm not tough and brutal. I play some tough and brutal music, but I'm a softie and I love hanging around people and having a good time. So I want to kind of, even though we're talking about gore and death, like let's laugh, let's enjoy our gallows humor and just have a really good time with it. And that's what that video is about. It's silly, it's gross in ways you don't expect. It's not all gore that's gross. Sometimes it's like some guy's really bad skin condition on his legs. It's disgusting, and it made me laugh a lot. So I hope it makes other people laugh too. And then when the music kicks in, that part's no joke. We're gonna play some really good death grind.
Awesome. So I think it's a great time. If you're listening to this on YouTube or whatever, I'm gonna hyperlink the video. But if you're listening,
Don't close the tab. Don't close the tab. Open a new tab.
yeah,
Pause this video, then come back.
yeah. Thanks for doing that. But if you're listening to this on audio, here's Unsafe at Any Speed. And that was Unsafe at Any Speed. And I've got Dr. Ross Sewage with me. Uh,
Yeah, and when you get the record, it's unsafe at 33 RPM and at 45 RPM. So if you play the
nice.
record extra fast, it's just even more dangerous.
Nice, nice. Okay. I don't know. I can't even remember if I asked you this question, so forgive me, the last time. But do you end up like getting time to listen to other music, considering you're like just constantly doing music and other stuff? If so, what are you currently listening to, metal or
Oh my
non-metal?
God. This is what you're going to quiz me on this. I've been involved in a couple of recording projects, so I'm kind of out on some music. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I was just really pissed off at the world, and I decided to go back to the early 2000s, and I was just jamming Slipknot's early catalog because "People Equal Shit" is
Fuck,
just a
fuck.
theme for the ages. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I love, like listening to some other different death metal stuff, but I was like, that just it's it's dumb, it's knuckle dragging, and that's just what I felt when I was like after doom scrolling Twitter and looking at all the horrible news. I was like, yeah, people really do equal shit. Plus, I think I was really angry. Um, I got in a hit and run accident 4 days before we announced this record about road accidents. So this
Oh,
motherfucker
fuck.
dumped his bike, it hit the back of my car. I got spun out. It was in the rain. And then he took off on another motorcycle. So fuck that guy. He is definitely shit. So yeah, the dangers of the road are real. I'm an example. I bear the scars of road accidents. I've got this nice one. My part of my head got ripped off from a car accident in the 90s. That's how I have this beautiful scar that all the ladies like, and some men too.
Fuck. I hope you're okay, man. Sorry to hear about that.
Doing okay. Buy the record because I could use the money because I had to fix that car. This jerk did not like. We got to find him, and who knows if he even has insurance. So yeah, buy road asphalt. Support me staying on the road. That would be lovely.
Okay, from that, and I don't know how to kind of make a smooth segue, but you guys, like I said earlier, are road warriors because you guys are literally, I was looking up your tour dates, are on the road after this, and we're talking like mid, almost the end of January, from 19th of Feb to the 21st of March with Oxygen Destroyer and No Mass.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Then you'll
sick.
head then you'll head to Europe and you'll are playing with Gruesome all the way in April heading into May. I mean, at least Europe is
Yeah,
nicer that way in terms of, I
there's
guess,
gonna be a
driving.
lot better cheese and bread at the venues. So that'll be
Yeah,
nice in Europe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But other than everything you kind of added, fuck, how you guys gonna manage this? I mean, it boggles my mind.
I don't know. You know what? I run on pure inertia. It just happens, and I'm just going to let it happen to me, and we'll just be out there. And we're a little bit long in tooth, so we try to look out for each other in terms of like, hey, get your ass up, do a couple push-ups. Let's take a walk. Let's go do something. Let's go see something. And keep ourselves from getting bored and sitting in a venue drinking all day. That's not really what we're going to be doing. So, we do try to enjoy, like Matt said, even though this record is about tragedy and gore and all that, it is a love letter to the road because that is where we have some of the greatest times in our lives. We're kind of like the old term, the band of brothers. It's like, all right, well, we're not defeating fascists, although we should be trying harder to defeat fascists. But we are kind of a band of brothers on the road, and you get that kind of team effort, and you kind of go through this together. And if you got like good people that you're working with and good friends, I've known Matt for, oh God, it's close to going like 35 years. I've known Mike for like 25 years. Um, Baz, I'm still checking him out now. He's cool. I've known Baz. He's been in the band for, the last three records. This is the first lineup we've had that has made it past not only one record, but three records that we've had the same lineup. That's a real milestone for Exhumed to pull off. It's always one or two or three or people leaving the band or whatever. But this group is good and we're buds and we're gonna make it through all of this. And we haven't even talked about the end of the year yet. You'll find out more about that later.
Shit. Okay, so I'm gonna scratch that question out. But since you said this and you kind of talked about routines at least while on tour, do you have like routines before heading out on tour? I mean, I don't know. Oh, does that work or?
I mean, I got to practice the damn songs and learn to play, and, remember what the hell we're doing. But I mean, a lot of it's just preparation. I mean, Exhumed gets into stage antics too, so we might be building some goofy new theatrical prop. But yeah, basically just trying to remember all these stupid words I wrote. There's a lot of them, and playing them with the song and getting that stuff down. But yeah, I mean, obviously you want to try to like go out on the road feeling pretty decent about yourself. So, get up. I had a bout with sciatica a couple years ago because I'm old. Look at these gray hairs. I went on tour to Australia when I wanted to kill myself every day from the amount of back pain I was in. So I take my stretching pretty seriously these days, and try to get a little bit of workout. I'm not a gym bro or anything, but I want to age gracefully, so we do those things.
Yeah, as someone who wakes up and now swears by doing stretching or some kind of mobility, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
kids, it's no joke. Get into it now.
and one day you skip, fucks up everything.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, I don't know, any teaser you want to leave for what should people wait out for the end of the year?
Well, for American viewers, we have this tour announced, and a lot of people are complaining that we're not coming to where they live. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. There's
Okay.
there'll be a part two, and we want to see all of their beautiful faces and cover them with blood.
Awesome. Awesome. So, lots more to talk about. And, I wish you guys all the best for the road. And yeah, see you on the other side, I guess, of this long
Let's
tour
see.
that you're doing.
Hopefully we'll come out. We'll both be on the other side just as healthy as we are now, and no more road accidents, please.
Yeah, amen to that. Right. Thanks so much, Ross. Really appreciate you
Just
taking time
thank
out.
you, Peter. Excellent. Thank you.
And that was Dr. Ross Sewage on Red Asphalt. Hope you enjoyed the track that I played. And if you've not yet, check out the cool video that they put out. If you're in North America or Europe, hope you've caught them on tour. They've been playing all over the place. And that's all I've got for this episode. Do check out past episodes that I've put out. I've got a lot more coming out, so hit subscribe or follow on whichever platform you're listening to this episode on. I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.